Alright, so hello and welcome to another feedback stream here with me, Bo from Bo Beats. So if you don't know, we do these every other weekend, but next week I'll probably do one yet again, so next Sunday, because I'm going away the week after that to Stockholm. So yeah, we're doing like a 2-week little thingy here with a new review stream next Sunday. So usually or earlier I did them on Fridays, but now we're doing them on Sundays, or trying to do them on Sundays, and see how that works out. I think it's a little bit easier for some of you to join in, because of course you have work and other engagements during the week. So if you don't know, my name is Bo. I run Bo Beats. It's a channel about synthesizers and music production. And today we are going to I'll start off by playing a new song that I made, just to let people join in, and then we'll get to your submissions. And if you're interested in submitting something, check down below in the link. And usually what I do is I play a couple of Patreon songs to start with, give some feedback. That's stuff that I've gotten like a couple of days early, and I've had the time to sit down and give my and think about it, and to give some feedback, and then I'll get to some of the other submissions as well. So that's, yeah. And we have to do and before we do a little intro, I have to do a little bit of a shout out as well, that we have a Patreon giveaway going on over on simplysynth.com. Native Instruments has sponsored us with one license for Thrill. I love saying that. And today is the last day. So if you wanna, I think I actually said that today at 12 was the last day, but say until midnight today, you can join in with your submission. We have a little quiz going on over on simplysynth.com. So let's run a little intro. All right, so while we're waiting for people to join in, let me play you a new song that is coming out soon, that I just finished up. So we're just waiting for people to kind of join in. So this is a little song that I've made that is playing in the background. I don't think I have a name for it yet, but it's finished, and I see some questions about it. I used the drum brute for the drums, and basically there's a V collection for most of the synths in this song. So yeah. So welcome here, everybody, and I see some people: Disco, Tony, Max, Electronic Sound Audio. Good seeing you. Something with TV. Had a hard time understanding truly what that means. And yeah, we see Richard, good seeing you as well. I saw Studio Geek, Rav J, Let's see, George is here, but George is at top of a mountain, so he's probably going to catch the show later. Well, George, that seemed like a reasonable thing to do. Walk safely. Tom, good seeing you. Max, if I didn't say hello back to you. Itchy Beat was here. Itchy Beat. Richard Kerr was second. Or no, Richard was Richard was second. Studio Geek 32 was first, I think. That was funny. Joseph, good seeing you as well. Lee, good seeing you. So it's a little tune I made playing in the background, and it's coming out later in a couple of weeks, I think. I'll be posting it to all the patrons, the $5 patrons. Get all my music for free, and I'll probably do some kind of video maybe on it. I have 3 new tracks coming out. Maybe we'll listen to another one later. So let's see here. I have a couple of nice tunes ready for y'all. So let's take a look at them. I think we're starting out with DJ Ape. He's a patron. And he submitted a little track here. I did just a short one that I think could be interesting to listen to. And let me just see here. So you can also go and get a little insight to how the simplesynth.com forum looks. It looks like this. And as you can see here, we have a little post, a Patreon post, and people have submitted their work. And DJ Ape submitted this here, and he said, he wrote like this: so this is a jungle track that I made 2 years ago, never finished. I'm wondering what else I could add to this track to actually finish it. Also, as always, is the bass too high, and what about the mix? I recorded guitars for this track and vocals are from a sample pack. So guys, basically we want to give it a listen, see what we think about it. So here we go.
Yeah, man, we come to nice stuff, you know. Drop style.
Alright, so this was DJ Ape with a short little snippet of a tune he made 2 years ago. And it was basically asking what we think about it, if it's something to work on, how's the mix, and so on. And I wrote down a couple of things, and you guys, leave a couple of comments. I'll get to them. I'll, talk a little bit about your comments as well. So let's see here. So what I thought about this DJ is that I did find that when I listened at a little bit of a lower volume, I did find like the bass line a little bit too muddy, like the main do 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 sort of thingy, because that kind of the main melodic element that you got going on all the through, and I found it a little bit muddy. So what I would do is I would try and add a little clarity to it, because it does have, it's kind of what hooks you, sort of. Maybe EQing it, add another instrument, doubling that perhaps, or just, building a little bit upon it. Or creating maybe a similar melody, something to kind of, how do you say, intertwine with what you got going with the bass. Because I did feel it was a little bit too how to say, muddy might be the right word. Overall, I really dug the mix. I think the drums, had tightness to them. Definitely, but maybe you need some brighter elements in the mix, because I did feel like there was a little bit, you could have added something brighter, because you have these chords that come in, dun, dun. And maybe you could add like a layer of a piano on top of it, just a little bit brighter, just to give it a little shine, sparkle, maybe. So that's my kind of general feedback, but I thought it was really cool. And a very subjective thing. I don't know how you guys relate to this, but I did feel that the vocals were a little bit on the cheesy side. Because you wrote that they are from a sample pack, and you kind of they feel like a sample pack kind of sound. So my way to get around that is to use them a little less in the song, because they are repeated, yeah, a couple of times, and maybe use them a little less and put emphasis. Is that right word in English? Put focus on them when you use them, but don't reuse them too much. So that would be my kind of thoughts on the vocals, not to get too stuck in the cheesy territory, because it's always a little difficult when you use vocal samples, in the sense that it can sound a little, middle of the road, can sound a little unoriginal, and you kind of want to stay clear of that. Instead, try and find something to hook the listener that isn't, the general style. But overall, I really dug the track. I thought it was good to listen to, for sure. Discophone says he should definitely finish the track. A little variation would be sweet. Yeah, I agree. Electronic sounds. Yeah, definitely. A little bit more variation. Maybe a stop to the drums. Do 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 do. Boom boom boom. Something. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe something like that. Definitely. So I think it was really cool. Definitely. So those were my thoughts, DJ Ape. Yeah, Disco, I agree. It's better to use original vocals. The problem with a song like this, and I think this is a good learning experience. So let's listen a little bit to it again here.
Yeah, man, we come tonight.
So you start out with the yeah man, and that's kind of on the cheesy side, I would say. But the build-up is really sweet here. I really dig the build-up here. I really dig it. It's something I could definitely see myself listening to while working, maybe. I love having something on like this when I'm writing or reading. So here's what I'm also saying. Da, 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 da. That kind of bass line melody needs something to bring it a little bit, give it a little bit more attention, I think. Something, maybe EQ it a little bit, add something on top of it. That's pretty much what I think. Yeah, the intro vocal, they're cool, but yeah. Matthew, I think you put it nicely. Classic, considering the style, but also predictable. So it might not be a plus. Yeah, could be. I mean, it's like we say, when I give feedback, of course, we have to take into consideration what kind of genre is it, what kind of style are you going for. But whenever I feel like, it sounds a little bit too generic, I tend to try and say so. I don't like to be overly critical about anything, but I think finding something that stands out is very important in electronic music in some way, but while still keeping it to a genre, of course. So let's move on here. So Tony, we have Tony Duncan's track coming up, and Tony, you submitted a track last time that you worked a little bit upon, and I thought we'd listen to. I don't really have a really good way to A/B listen. So you submitted the unmixed and the mixed versions. And let's see here. We'll start by listening a bit to the mixed version. And I have some thoughts about it. And let's not forget to unmute the mic here. So we're not listening. This is a long track, 6 minutes, and we'll listen to it last stream. So Tony, I think that you overall have really improved on the mix. In general, I think some of the things I talked about last time was, well, basically Tony made this. I think you made it or mixed it on with like headphones on an iPhone or iPad or something, if I don't misremember, Tony. And you had this kind of almost a little bit broken high end, and you kind of fixed it in this. This seems, yeah, this seems nice. But an Electronic Sounds Audio says it. Really liking the groove. A bit more low end maybe. And yes. So if we go back and listen to Tony's original mix, and guys, you can focus on the low end. See if you can spot it. So this is Tony's original mix. So we're listening to the original or unmixed version. See if you can spot it. So I think it's pretty evident here, Tony, that while I did say, I think, that you should be a little mindful of things clashing in the low end, there's a lot more low end, a lot more booming in the first mix or unmixed version. And I think you cut way too much from first version to the second one. So there's a definite lack of sub in the second version. That's almost like it's noticeable, like you can listen to it and you notice that, okay, we're missing something here. There's like a piece of something that is missing, and I think you really have to look at. So we're talking, maybe, I know you had some, I think I said that some of the atmospheric stuff gave it a bit of a rumble in the low end, and that's gone, but you still need this kind of focused sub bass boom, definitely. So I thought you did a great job on many parts, because I think also one of the things, so in the intro in the earlier version, if you look back to the intro in the earlier version, you have clarity, you have the bass and everything. But then, of course, if you look at the earlier version and go into the kind of main parts, you get the kind of rumble, there's too much sound. And that I think you've fixed in your new version, where there's less, because you have so much going on that you kind of need to hold some stuff back. And I think you kind of fixed that in the second version, for sure. So the clanginess to the hi-hats is gone, and it doesn't sound that messy, rumbly kind of stuff. Definitely. So yeah, I think Disco says it well. It's a bit thin in the mastered version, for sure. I think basically when you try to tone things down a bit, another problem occurred: the lack of bass. So. Yes, Studio Geek, I saw your track. I think I'll play it later. We can have it like a funny thing. We can probably listen to it. So Tony, that's something to look at, the low end. Yeah. Just give it a little work, and I really dig the track, and I think people are digging it as well. So let's see here. Let's listen to Jeff Dragon's track. Jeff is another patron, and if you want to become a patron, go over to patreon.com/bowbeats and check that out. So let's go here and listen to I don't remember if this is Jeff's first track that he submitted, but let's listen to it. And it's over, he published it over on the Patreon forum, so we can have a listen. there was no good way to tone down the music in a non-dramatic way. Boom. So Jeff Dragon, or Ganja with the best name here in the chat room. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I think somebody summed it up here. Let's see here, who said it? Kai said, I like the ideas going on in this one, and I thought so too. I thought you had a little bit of a lack of a focus in the track. You know, I didn't really feel like you were clear about where you wanted to go with the track. Many interesting ideas, but maybe work a little bit on the structure there. So I wrote down some things here. I really dug the soundscape. I thought that was really cool, really interesting sound design, really, you know, caught my attention straight away. But then the kick comes in, and the kick is firstly, it's very sudden, so you kind of, you're a little startled. And you know what? I would prefer a more toned down kick. You have this kind of dance kick. Do, do. It's kind of do, do. Kind of very clearly pronounced kick. And I would actually love something more toned down. That goes a little bit more with the ambient vibe. You know, I was like thinking like Massive Attack, or what else could I reference? Well, but just, you know, boom, 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 something more, you know, toned down, I think. But the snare and hi-hats were very cool, but I did think like the hi-hats need a little bit more high frequency content. They're kind of far back in the mix. Maybe when they come in, you could cut some high frequency on the general soundscape that you got going on that takes up a lot of space, and maybe, you know, bring forward the hi-hats a little bit. Maybe something like that. Maybe. Hope it makes sense. I thought the lead melody, the sound was very cool. I think the kind of melodic content needs a little work, just where I thought like maybe you could sing to yourself and kind of sing with the ambient sounds, sing and try and find, you know, some melodic hook, you know, something. It doesn't, you know, because then you go into like an arpeggio, and that works really fine as well. But just the first few phrases with the melodic sound, maybe introduce like a theme or something. Just it felt a little how do you say, a little random, more like something you would jam, and maybe you could go back and you know, think how would you sing it, how would you try and create a melody that hooks somebody out of it. You have like a little drop, and then the drum beat comes in a little bit stronger, and I thought it was very cool as well. But yeah, I think that was my kind of feedback. So I'm just going to check what people are saying here. Let's see here. Yeah, like Dr. Stupid says, yeah, the lead melody. So what I'm thinking, like, if we make this a little bit of a, see if I can say this in a whoa. The volume a bit. Sorry for scaring the shit out of you, probably. Let's tone down the volume a bit. Let's see here if we can find the. Yeah. So when the melody comes in, let's see here. Yeah, I would try finding something to hook the listener and pull back the drums here instead, you know, put melodic content forward. But I'm not sure exactly how I would. I'm not sure how I would make the melody. Da 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 dum. Na 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 na. Yeah, try finding some sounds, you know, maybe something sweeping, maybe some with a lot of glide. Wow, something to kind of hook us. That's what I'm kind of looking for. That's what I'm kind of looking for, if that makes sense. Yeah. Put the bow singing there. Yeah. La 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 la. He gets a stroke. You can call the song Strokes. definitely. Oh, so George, you're on top of a mountain, are you? That's super cool. That's super cool. Let's see here. Sample the vocal. No, please don't. But yeah, I hope you get what I'm trying to convey here, and I think this is something you should work. This track could definitely be. I think you could make something really nice out of it, with just improved melodies, tone down the drums a bit, and yeah, just. And like George says, overdub it with singing. You could definitely do that as well. Play a melody. You could use like a piano and the synth sound maybe as well to give it like a sparkle. I like the word sparkle because I think pianos in electronic music often adds shine and sparkle to maybe a soundscape or something. Yeah, awesome, Jeff. So let's see here. Who do we have up here? Let's listen to George's track. George is on top of a mountain, so we can just have a little listen here. George sent in an older track. George is also a patron, and Hendrix says it nicely here. Needs a little bit more structure. The song there with the Ganja song, but here is George and his track Rain. So we are listening to George and his track Rain, and he just wanted to submit it for you guys to see what you said about it and what you thought. And here's the link again. And my thoughts on it is that I think, George, that your classic stuff is really nice. I really dig it. I think you have a certain vibe to it that works for me. Of course, you can also improve upon stuff, but I don't really have, any suggestions right off the bat, and you didn't really ask for any either. So I just want to say I like it. I think, definitely. I think it's cool. But maybe you can read some of the comments here that people are, putting forward some suggestions. I think it was cool, definitely. And yeah. So that was George's track, and let's see here. Who do we have here? So we'll listen to DJ Ape, we'll listen to Jeff Dragon's track, we'll listen to George, we'll listen to Tony's track, and now we can go into those were the Patreon submissions that were submitted over on simplysynth.com. So guys, if somebody's new here and haven't checked out the new Patreon forum. It's simplysynth.com. And you can get access by becoming a patron over on patreon.com/bowbeats. And yeah, so let's see here. Let's listen to let's see, Retrodome. I think you're here. Retrodome with his track Exterior. So this is the first track you submitted, Retro, I think. So here we go. So we're listening to Retrodrome's track Exterior, and your name always confuses me. Retrodrome. What's a retrodrome? What is that? A retrodome? I could drone? I'm not sure. I thought it was a cool track. You know, you have a lot of variation going on in the track. I saw somebody point something out here as well, that maybe there's a lack of low end in the track, and especially if you listen to post or pre 2 minutes, you can hear that if you listen to the bass doesn't really have that oomph, you know, the sub bass that you might want, and I thought that was something, you know, maybe something you could think a little bit about. But I enjoyed the track. I thought it was cool. What else did I write down? Well, I wrote down that you have maybe a little bit much reverb on some stuff. I didn't really pinpoint exactly what stuff. Especially, you can hear it. Let's do a little listening exercise here. Hopefully this makes sense. So let's see here. So I'm going to lower. So if we listen for reverb. You should be able to notice that the reverbs and the might even be a delay. I'm not sure what I'm hearing. Might take up a little bit too much sonic space. You know, it gets kind of big and crowded. Yeah, but I really dug the track. I really dug the style. Definitely something I can listen to for sure. Yeah, so a little bit, maybe a little bit too much on the reverb side. And I'm not sure exactly how you programmed it. Maybe if you can automate it somehow across the track, maybe that can help a little bit. But the music, I thought the music was good. And so we're basically just talking about the finer details here. So a nice submission. Hope to hear some more from you in another stream as well. Okay, very cool. With Renoise. Yeah, that's Tracker. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see here. And I see here Michael is here as well. Good to seeing you, Michael. Born into New. Maybe I didn't say hello to you, but hello back to you. Let's see here. Did I miss somebody else? Angel, good seeing you as well. Dominguez. Did I miss somebody else? Wayne C. Maybe I didn't say hello. Shad. Good seeing you as well. I think it was about everybody. So hope everybody's having a good afternoon this Sunday. And we're basically trying out Sundays as a streaming day. So normally, so if you're new here or if you just want to know, basically every other Sunday I try to do a music review stream for both patrons and non-patrons where we listen to your music, talk a little bit about it, just also because I think in general on these tech synth music production channels, somehow the music gets a little bit in the background and there's so much focus on tech, especially for me. With all the techie stuff, and of course, you know, it's because we have a passion for hardware, software, we have a passion for technology and music, but it's also fun to give it a little bit of a give some space to your music, and I try to leave some semi-intelligent ideas about where to go mixing wise, or if I hear something you know, when it comes to song structure or general ideas about your music. So you're free to submit work in progress. That is something I prioritize because that gives me a little bit more to work with when I leave a comment or I say something. But you can also, of course, submit finished tracks and we can have a listen and see what we think about it. And of course, my opinions isn't any kind of law. They are just, you know, thoughts that pop into my brain when I listen to the music. And normally I sit down an hour before or something and I listen on my bigger system, and I also listen on my headphones, stuff that I'm accustomed to using. So that's pretty much it is what we do here. Heathcliff, good seeing you as well here. So yeah, and hopefully, you know, we can have we can see if we can get some more attention when we are streaming on Sundays, because of course people are not at work, so hopefully that can help. And if you guys want to share the live stream somewhere, wherever you hang out online, that's super cool as well. If you want more people to participate, that's always very, very helpful. So let's see here. We are going to listen to Blazely's track here next. So let's see here. I did post Retro's track, did I? I think I did. Yeah, I did. So here's I'm just going to check if this is let's see here, if it's private. No, it's not a private track, so I'm going to see here. Yeah, that's nice, Retro, that you like Fridays and Saturdays. We can do it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So here is Blazely's track called Track 3 with Soul. Yeah, tracks for 3. So here it is. And let's have a little listen. And let's pull up the volume. Alright, so this was track 3 with Sol G, or Wildflower. I'm a little confused as to which is the artist name, but this was Blazely's submission. And you guys have already, you know, pinpointed some stuff in the chat room here. I thought it was really cool with the bass and boom, 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 that kind of cool stuff. But I also wrote down some comments here. That the bass is maybe a little bit too strong overall in the mix, and the kind of drum sequence that comes in a little bit later in the arrangement that I would have kind of anticipated, and it's kind of repetitive in the beginning. So maybe bring in the drums earlier, and also the drum loop is very heavily kind of, is the right word distorted? You guys have to help me here, but it's so harsh, and you kind of threw me off. Actually, it didn't really fit, and you know, I think you want something that doesn't clash as much with the vibe that you're, you know, yeah. Yeah, so maybe like Discophone says here, maybe bring in some compression on the bass line maybe, and with the track, if we listen to, like, you kind of think you want something like some chill drums, you know, like you have this little loop here, and something, I don't know, boom, 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 you know, I want some boom. You don't want these. You don't want those kind of broken kind of drums, because it throws you kind of off. Yeah, clip. The drums are definitely there's clipping maybe going on. I'm not too sure. I didn't, you know, analyze it very much, but yeah. Bo, the word is clipping. That's kind of funny. Yeah, but I really dug like the vibe of the track, so for sure, because everything else sounds really cool, so that's for cool. Studio Geek, thank you so much for the super chat, Studio Geek. Let's see here. I am having a 4 years party of Sammy Jam. Do you want Skype and can talk to you and can play new song Sammy Jam? Let's see, Studio Geek, you had a song. So let's of course, I said if you did a super chat is like a donation thingy over on YouTube. I don't really know that much about it, but you can use it. So of course, Studio Geek, we have to play your track. And Studio Geek, you submitted a YouTube clip, is that correct? So let's see here. So, if you guys don't know, Studio Geek is one of my biggest fans. I don't know how old you are, or you're like, don't want to be rude here, 12, 13, 14 maybe, or I don't remember what you said. And we've been playing some of your stuff earlier. So let's have a little check here with Studio Geek and his new little track here. So let's see here. I love this kind of Super Mario almost vibe to the piano stuff here. So yeah, guys, let's go in and give Sammy a little thumbs up on the video. So very cool, Studio. So basically, if I'm going to give you the Bow Beats treatment here, I think you have too many ideas in one little demo. So basically, you have the guitar, 2 different drum beats on it, and then you have the piano stuff. So maybe you should focus on one of the ideas and develop it. But you know what, Sammy? Develop this idea and we'll play it some other time for sure. But pick one idea, develop it, do an intro, do a verse, do a kind of chorus, a bridge maybe. Yeah, just look at like a normal song structure, work on it, and let it, you know, work at it. Hit me up when it's done, and we'll listen to it next time, studio. So for sure. If anything, it's not predictable at all. Yes, that's for sure. I thought it was cool with the unpredictability, but you need the structure, Sammy. You need the structure. Work on it. Let's see here. Who else is on? Let's see here. So I had some, let's see here. We had some submissions here. People submitted some stuff just recently. So let me check it out. Some of you guys have submitted stuff during the stream. So normally I don't always get to it. I try to get to the live stuff as well. You know, people submitting during the stream, but it's not always easy, of course. And of course, guys, when you're a patron and when you submit early, especially if you're a patron, I do have time to think a little bit more about, you know, what I want to say and, you know, the general feedback. So let's see here. Okay. So Brian, are you born into new? Are you Brian? Is that you? Well, somebody called Tristan says, posting for my friend. Yes, Predrag. I'm good seeing you, Predrag. Yes, your track was the first, I think. I think we listened to it first. And people enjoyed it, Predrag. So you can just go and back. I'll post the VOD later. Go back, check it out. I gave some feedback. And people had a bit of a say in about it. So, okay, Born Into New. Good. Good. But people enjoyed it, Predrag, so don't worry. It's all good. Let's see here. All right, so let's listen here. So this is Born Into New, and it's yeah, Born Into New is in the chat room as well. I also have a question here from Chad. That is one of my biggest issues: song structure. What, in your opinion, Bo, would be the perfect recipe on formulation? Hey, man, I'm not an expert in any way. I mean, I guess if you truly want to work with song structure, I would go for something. I would look at like very traditional pop setups and try to learn how to make like an intro, a verse, bridge into chorus or something like that, or just verse into chorus, and try and build stuff like that to get a feel for the more traditional setup, and then try to experiment and go from that. So that would be mine. So what do we think about Born Into New Make Believe? You basically said, let's see here, let's see, Born Into New, don't be gentle, guys, says Born Into New. So, okay. firstly, you have this synth in the beginning. You need some kind of automation on that. You need some kind of automation modulation, basically. Maybe like a filter modulation where you sweep the sound a bit to not make it so sterile. Because it's kind of sterile when you have like this blanket pad that goes. We can listen to it a little bit again here in the beginning. I thought the beginning was cool with the kind of crackling noises, almost like too dirty. And then it comes on here with the synths, and these synths kind of follow us all through the track, and you need some more variation there. But you also need some kind of more, yeah, some. We can just jump a little bit. You hear that those same sounds go all across the track, and you need to kind of vary that sound a bit, I think, to start off with. That's just something that kind of popped into my head when I was listening. So that's one thing. Let's see here. Predrag says, okay, so Predrag says in relation to song structure, just get your favorite track in the same genre, put it on in a DAW and try to copy the structure. That's a really good idea, Predrag, for sure. For sure, it's the same for mixing and mastering. Take tracks that you think sound good, that are widely appreciated, and steal from them. Steal their structure, steal their sound, the mixing, steal the mastering, for sure, definitely. Yeah, so maybe less predictability is the way here. Born into New. Let's listen some more here. You also need to change up the drums a little bit more. It's kind of sterile. It's just this beat going on, and maybe also work a little bit on the lead and try to humanize it, so it's not so much wah, 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 wah. So it's more flowing. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, like a singing quality to it, I think is important. I wouldn't say I'm good at this by any means, but it's easy to notice it, at least when you're listening to other people's music. So a little bit work on trying to remove the kind of sterile feel. So you got like the basics down. You have the drums, you have the pad, you have maybe you could do with a little bit heavier bass, and now it's just a matter of when you have like this also ties into the question of song structure. I think it's always good to kind of lay out the song and then go back and try and rework and bring in the human feel, the variations. And I'm super bad at this sometimes myself because I kind of like repetitive stuff. But just going back and trying to find the variation after you've kind of laid out the entire track, so you don't get stuck in like an intro or like the first verse and trying to, and then you've spent all your energy on that, but rather trying to lay it out and see, does this work, does it sound good enough, and then go back and kind of create the variations. Definitely a breakdown for sure, that would work as well, like Traversi says, for sure. Definitely. So yeah, so let's see here. Who else submitted something here? Let's see here. Did we have Angel is here as well? Let's see here. Angel Dominguez submitted something, and he says, this started as an exercise for an Ableton Live course. It sounds really promising, so I took time to finish it. I dusted off my electric guitar for the arpeggios and some chords. Oh, this sounds promising, and added several other elements. So let's listen to it. This is Ahe with Slide Away. Alright, so we're listening to Aha with Slide Away. Oh, was the volume? Maybe the volume was really low for you guys. I noticed it's... But a beautiful track, nevertheless. Aha with Slide Away. So I had one mixing thing that I thought about, and it's the... If we can listen to the... You have the melodic thing. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that little beep beep, bleepity bleep going on, and I thought maybe you could have used like a filter automation on that as well, just not having it constant. That was kind of something I thought about, not having the sound constant, because of course this track is kind of repetitive and slow, and you can. I think somebody said in the chat room that maybe using like filters is a way to also create a little bit of a variation to the sound. But I really dug the track. I thought this was really chill. This was stuff that I could definitely sit down and listen to. So I'm going to write a little comment here. Bob Eats was here. Yes, really chill track, definitely. Definitely. So this was by I think it's Angel Dominguez, who is in the chat room earlier. Let's see here. And you guys are talking a little bit about let's see here, a little bit about Caustic. So one program that I found, and speaking about variations and modulations on the iOS platform, one program that I enjoyed a lot was Auxy. And I thought it was really cool. Let's see if I can find. I did like a little demo of it, just yeah, exactly, Angel. Yeah, you listen to it too many times, and then you're kind of left with no ideas. But I really dug the track, Angel, and just, you know, I thought with the when you have those kind of synth lines, because since you have like all these very very human elements with the guitar and with the vocals, the synth kind of stands out. It's kind of monotonous. So using just because maybe you don't want to change up the melody or the line, how it plays, but you can change up the sound with effects and with filter automation. But back to filter automations and automations on iOS, I actually started to use, I don't make much music on iOS, but I started to try Auxy. Let me see if I can find it over on the forum. Let's see here if I have it here somewhere. Yeah. Okay, so so let's see here. This was something I just recorded with Auxy. I'm not sure if it shows what I wanted to show, but let's see here. This is just a little demo I made with Auxy, which has really nice options for automating different settings. So this was just a little demo here that I made with Oxy on the iOS on my iPhone, and I just mainly wanted to play it because I think that Oxy sounds really good, but Oxy has some really cool automation features that kind of highlights what I'm looking for. Basically, when you do a part, you can go in and make an automation for different, of course it's not very deep, but you can make it automation. You set it to a certain amount of bars, basically. So you can have a very long automation for a very short clip, or a very short automation for a very long clip. And I love that, to create different tensions. So that was just a little track, and that was pure Oxy sounds for sure. So yeah, let's see here. Yeah, the lead synth is very harsh. Electronic sounds. Yeah, the lead synth is super harsh. So I don't really like the synth sounds in Oxy. I think the drums are really cool. The synth sounds are very harsh, very harsh. But just to talk a little bit about, because I use a lot of automation and just to create a little bit of a less sterile sound. So yeah, it's very, very important. Adamski, good seeing you as well. Let's see here. Shad asks, Bo, have you been playing your circuit much lately? No, in fact I haven't. I have two of them. They're sitting over there. I do have a project coming up where I want to use the circuits more, but that will be something for a future video series maybe, or something. So let's get back to the music. Let's see here. I'm just going to check my little thread here, and let's have a little look here. So we have Kai McDonald. I'm not sure if you've submitted something here before, Kai, and if you're here in the chat room, please say hello. We can just have a little listen. Kai says, here's a synthwave style track I created just using soft synths. I'd like to hear what people think of this track. So let's give Kai's track a little listen. Oh wait, what did I do? So here is Kai's track. It's called Shinshuku. So this was Kai with the track Shinshuku, and I think, okay, so let me try and be honest in a nice way. I think you have some nice ideas, but I think the melodic content just isn't strong enough. Basically, there's nothing really hooking me. That's a problem, I think. If we go back and listen to the beginning here. So I think this was promising with the little riff or arp, and I like the synth sound, but it's not. You need something stronger to hook the listener. The melody just ain't strong enough. It's more like it's not. You need to pronounce it more somehow. I don't know, something to, yeah, just isn't strong enough, I think, when I listen to it. I mean, I really like the instrumentation. That's not a problem. But it's just, I don't think the melody is strong enough. I just don't think it is. Yeah. So I think you need to go back and think a little bit about that. I'm sorry, I don't really like to, to be critical, because of course melodic content is very subjective, but because I really like the instrumentation, but I need something to hook me a bit more earlier. Yeah. So let's see here. Northern Cat, good seeing you. Long time no see. Yeah. Well, wait. Weren't you here like the last week or something? Well, maybe you weren't. Maybe I just, just imagined you in every live stream, There I am live streaming, man, like Northern Cat, he's here. She's here. I guess you're a he. Yeah. Yeah, so George puts it very nicely here. He says, I like the harmony, but not the melody. And put a clean bass line in it. I think George puts it very nicely. Yeah. So, but the instrumentation is good, Rico. Or not Rico, Kai. The instrumentation is nice. And here's one thing you can do. Is when you have a good instrumentation, you can always, reuse it in different tracks and just try it out and explore different sounds. So, and Kai, if you want to, next review stream or whenever, just hit me up. Say like, okay, I've reworked something or did a variation of this or did, took some feedback and here's the result. And I'll be glad to play it. Today's live stream, we played Tony Duncan's track and his newly mixed one. The same track like we played last time, but the new mix. And I think that's very fun as well, for sure. And Adamski says, first time catching you live, boyaka. Good. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Let's see here. Tristan, good seeing you here as well. Han, good seeing you here as well. Han, you're Piek, right? Piek or Han. Yeah, you're the Han. Han is a funny name for a Swede because it means him. Han means him. That guy. Definitely. Yeah, so let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, Northern, you missed a couple of streams. Yeah, for sure. That's cool. That's cool. Rico, are you referring to me if I have stuff uploaded somewhere? Not sure if you're referring to me. Let's see here. Let's see where are we at? Where are we at in the music? Let me just go back here and check the little thread. So yeah, we have a really beautiful track, guys, coming up. A really beautiful track that I think some of you will definitely enjoy. I thought this was super beautiful. And you know what? I didn't think I would play this, but because I've played his tracks a lot. So yeah, I do try to, because guys, I do try to keep a balance. I don't want to play, if you're a patron, you always get some kind of priority, but I do try to mix in with stuff that you guys sent me on the live stream and non-Patreon stuff as well. So, but this is really beautiful, this track that is coming up for sure. Definitely. Okay, Rico, you're talking to Born Into New. Sorry, it's kind of hard to keep track of all the conversations. So yeah. Oh, Disco, do you think this is your track coming up? Yeah, but I really dug it. So before we play Discophone's track, I just want to say, guys, that if you enjoy the feedback streams, please consider becoming a patron over on patreon.com. So let me show you guys what that is. That is basically this site here, Patreon. And basically you donate a small sum every month, say $1, so that's like $12 for a year, which isn't a lot, I think, for most people. And you can always you can donate whatever. There's different reward tiers depending on what you want, but if you go for $1 or more, you get access to the Simply simplesynth.com forum, which is the Patreon forum that we're using for communication around my stream. But you know, we have all these different categories. We discuss the news. We have a sip of coffee. We do synth talk. We do tutorial, upload tutorials and whatever. So yeah. So if you want to, you can join it. And of course, I try and be active and give feedback on stuff as well over on the forum. I think I posted a fair bit amount of feedback over there as well. And if you're unsure about how to join Patreon, well, Patreon is pretty self-explanatory. You just go to patreon.com/bowbeats and you click become a patron and you follow the instructions. But I also made a post showcasing how to become a member over on the forum, because you need to go to simplesynth.com and you need to use your Patreon to log in. So we're 74 patrons strong, and that's super great because that makes it possible for me to spend the time on making the YouTube stuff. So yeah, that's basically it. So let's play a nice little track here by Discophone. I think this track is very nice. Enrico asks, Bo, what's your policy on samples with these streams? So you samples on a lot of my beats. I think it could be copyright issues. Well, Rico, I think you have to basically, I try to say, like, try and avoid stuff that you can, if you already know that it could be a copyright conflict, please try and not submit stuff like that, because of course what will happen is that the live stream will get demonetized. So I don't make any money from it, and while it's not that much money, it's kind of also that I don't really like having any copyright issues over on YouTube. It just doesn't, you know, because it's kind of sensitive, I guess, in the long run, if your channel is always flagged for using other people's material and so on. So I try to stay away from that and try to stay away from remixes and so on as well. So yeah. Thank you, Han, so much for the feedback. Thank you. I try my best here. So we are going to listen to the Furiosa theme. So this is basically a song that is a sort of theme song for the Mad Max character Furiosa, made by Discophone. So a beautiful, beautiful track here by Discophone. I think this is a submission for Now Scored This. I guess it's a competition. Maybe you can put down the information, Disco, in the chat room so people can understand the context. but I just found this very beautiful. Like somebody said, beautiful stereo separation, beautiful track. The instrumentation was really good, very nice, very nice. So yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I mean, it's a very classical track, and it's beautiful, beautiful sounds and instrumentation. So lovely. Let's see here. Oh, my daughter just walked into the studio. Ja. Du får prata med mamma. Jag jobbar. Oh. My daughter, she just came into the room and she was like asking, Daddy, I want to watch TV. And I'm like, well, you have to ask Mom. Yeah, my daughter is submitting stuff for the live stream for sure. So yeah, we'll listen to Discophone's track here. Beautiful stuff. So very nice indeed. So yeah, I see some people were asking like how to submit and so on. So basically, when I do these, I try to sticky a thread over on Bo Beats Music on Facebook. I've actually changed the URL for Bo Beats Music to keep it more in line with Twitters and other stuff. And you can always submit stuff there. I do prefer work in progress, gives me more to say, but of course, you know, finished track is okay as well. And we do these live streams every other week, but I might do a second review stream next Sunday if it doesn't clash with anything else, because I'm actually going away to Stockholm in a couple of weeks. So it will be, you know, changing up the schedule a bit. So let's see here. Max K, I saw you sent me. Did you send me something, Max, on Twitter? Let's see here. So Max, are you like a friend of Studio Geek or something? Hendrix, you can submit on Facebook. So basically we use Facebook for submissions, or you can become a Patreon over on patreon.com/BoBeatsMusic. The links are in the description. Okay, so Max K is Studio Geek's brother. So let's listen here. Let's listen to what you submitted. So this is a track by a 12-year-old. So let's have a little quick listen here. Okay, you're twins. All right. That's cool. Max and Sammy. Damn, the whole family's here. I should hook you guys up with my daughter. She's only 3, but she's a blast. You could probably have some fun. Okay, so Max, we need some more drums. We need some boom, yeah. And you're also, there's like one note in the lead that is off from the general harmony. Yeah. But I thought I think the melody here is, you got something going there. Work a little bit more on the melody, add some bigger drums, definitely. So yeah, good work, Max. Not bad at all. So you guys, you know, the melody wasn't bad. You know, do 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 do. Yeah. Yeah. I can see you elaborating on this and develop it for sure. So let's see here. What else are we taking a look at today? Let me just check my little thready here. Let's look for the latest. Yeah, we played Kai, we played Angel, we played Souls, we played Marcos. Okay, so my mate Jeff Stanford submitted something here as well. So this is Jeff's track Edge of Reason. So this is Jeff's little track Edge of Reason here. And yeah, I assume that it's kind of a hardware jam, and some stuff is a little strange timing wise, just like Northern Cat says. And maybe the lead needs a little bit more, a little bit higher volume. But one thing, you know, Jeff, one thing I thought about when I listened to was be a little bit careful with all that reverb. It's very typical for like a hardware jam that you don't have the control over the, you can't EQ. Oh, my daughter, she's going nuts outside. I don't know what she's doing. No idea. But anyway, when you have like a hardware jam and hardware setup, it's usually very hard to keep the reverbs in check. And I thought it was a lot of reverb, and there's also, and that reverb is kind of eating up the bottom end because, or yeah, making the bottom end less clear. I guess because I think you have a reverb on the kick drum as well as the snare drum, and you don't have any low cuts. You don't cut the low frequencies, or at least not enough. And that creates kind of a, yeah, the sound is too kind of muffled, and yeah, muffled might not be the right word, but yeah, especially when you have a lot of reverbs without low cut, and that becomes a problem. So yeah, definitely something to consider. Let's see here. Matt says, I want to start making electronic music, and how, what's a good synth and instrument to begin with? Check out Novation Circuit, check out Electribe 2. Those two are kind of my go-to if you want to do electronic music from scratch without a computer. Otherwise, if you want to save money, get Fruity Loops, Cubase, Ableton, Reaper, Machina, some DAW, basically. Born into New. Circuit is not entirely a Mini Nova, but they are similar. They are similar, but they're not exactly the same. The Mini Nova has 3 oscillators, I believe, and the Circuit has 2. And there's other differences as well, but they're similar, very similar. But you can't, for example, exchange patches. So, so yeah, guys, I think these are the submissions for today's streams. I think we managed to. Did we actually manage to get through almost all the? I think. Let's see here. Did I get through all of them? Is that possible? Maybe today was a slow day on the submissions front. Or I'm just getting a little bit snappier with the feedback. Maybe. Studio Geek, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Super chat is also a way to support the stream whenever I stream if you want to. That's also a very cool thing you can use here on the YouTube. Let me just check here. Yeah, I think there was today was just a, but that's that's been the case born into new, that the submissions has been going up and down. So sometimes there's a ton of submissions, sometimes there's just a couple. So it's definitely goes up and down. So Tyler Allen Johnson, good seeing you here as well, mate. Good seeing you. And guys, if you're a patron, don't forget to submit to my quiz. In order to win a copy of Thrill from Native Instruments. Of course, the quiz is just a bit of fun. I can't do like a lottery for giveaways. So basically, all the Patreon giveaways that I will do, I will try and keep a lot of the giveaways for patrons. I have to do some kind of quiz. So this time there's questions over on the simplesynth.com forum. So if you're a patron and you're not already on the forum, go and check it out. There's a post on Patreon as well how to join up. So yeah. And today was kind of a movie score day. Yeah, Discophone, I agree. Definitely. Definitely. Let's see here. So yeah. Yeah, Max K is your brother. Yeah, I understand. That's very cool. Let's see here. I think I played all the submissions. That's a first. That has never happened before. Never happened. So guys, okay, so we're kind of winding down. Okay, so Rico asks, when's the best time to submit for stuff for a stream, early as possible? Yeah, Rico, the earlier the better, of course. So what I do is that over on Facebook, over on my Facebook page, I make a little thread. Let's see here, and I make a little thread and I try and sticky it so it's easier to find, and you just submit stuff to that, or you become a patron and you submit on the simplesynth.com forum. So that's also a way to do it. And yeah, that's definitely it. And of course, it's not always that I can play every single song. It depends, I guess, a little bit on, for example, today we had a lot of shorter stuff from the patrons, so that's of course something to take into consideration. And sometimes, of course, I can't play perhaps your track every single time. So yeah. More tracks, more feedback, more. Yeah, but it's kind of fun, sometimes it's nice to just feel like I've also not let too many people down, because sometimes I get like say I can play, maybe I play, what do I play, 10-20 submissions, and maybe I get like 50 in total, so that's insane. Definitely. Paul LeBlanc, good seeing you here as well. Better late than never. Yeah. So Paul, I'm not sure exactly how this fits into your time zone or whatever, but basically we've kind of switched the review streams to Sundays, because Sunday afternoon is, of course, it's morning in the US, but it's morning on a day off. So if you want to join in, it should be easier than, say, on a work day when you're at work. Believers. Yeah, that's kind of funny. So yeah, let me just check here. Yeah, so first time, I'm kind of astounded that we actually managed to listen to all the tracks. That's cool. The Patreon vid, I love it. Well, Studio Geek, I did have my little my little Patreon speech earlier, so maybe I'll not play the Patreon video today. We need to change it up as well. Hendrix, where did you post it, Hendrix? I can't see your video, Hendrix. You have to post it on Facebook if you want me to check it out. So go to Facebook, click the like button, post it in the sticky thread, and we can check it out. Okay, yeah, daylight savings time. All right, yeah, we changed that last week, I think. Yeah, Tyler. Tyler says, just an idea. You might be able to release an album of curated tracks from your community one day. Yeah. So Hendrik, so you have to post it in the thread, not just on the page. But let me see if maybe I need to, let me just see here. Maybe I missed it. Yeah, so of course that thought has come up, and other people said as well, Tyler. Somebody even suggested that I might, should start a label or something. So the thing is, I'm very hesitant for one reason, and it's that it's a lot of work managing and because I've been a part of a couple of compilation albums and so on, and I understand it's just a lot of work behind the scenes to make it legal and to handle it and so on. So yeah, so I guess I have to think about that a little bit more. Let's see here. So let's see here. I guess you are Hendrix. Are you Richard, or yeah? Or did I? Yeah, let's see here. So Richard sent in something. So we got a little track here. Let's see here. I'll give it a listen here. So Richard sent something in here. So let's have a listen here. Right, so this was Richard's little track here. So first thing, some of the stuff were a little off timing wise, but I really dug the guitar. Like, yeah, this little guitar line here. But I do feel like the drums were kind of, I don't know, with the clap, like was a little bit off and didn't really make sense in the context of where you're at. Like in an intro, you're kind of building up here. So I'm not sure about. I mean, I'm not sure about the drum sounds in general here in the mix. I kind of would have assumed, I know, a more clear and more heavy dance beat coming on here after the break. I would assume something like that. Let's see if you got something later in here. Now, I would have assumed, getting on more of a stronger dance groove after the first little break. But I dug the guitar. I thought it was kind of cool, kind of Western, like somebody says. Definitely. So yeah. So where did you play the guitar yourself, or is it a sample, or how do you make it? But I didn't like the choice of drum sounds, to be honest. Like the crash, like didn't really work for me. So I would work on the drums for sure, just to get them tighter, to give it a bit more clear dance beat when after the break or something, if that makes any sense to you. Yeah, and be a little mindful of the claps here early on. That was kind of, to me, it was kind of strange with the claps coming in early. Yeah, so the guitar is very cool. I really dug the guitar. So basically, to me Hendrix is a mix between, okay, finding the right drum sounds, finding the right drum groove, together with the instrumentation that you got going on here. And I really dug the guitar. I thought it was a, superb kind of melody, sound to it. But you have to find the right mix there. So yeah. Yeah, and like Norton says, maybe you need some kind of vocals, maybe. So yeah, just because. And you can hear here as well, if we go in a bit, that the drums and the playing, the kick isn't perfect in sync with the guitar, and that kind of throws you a little bit off balance as well. That needs to be a little bit more tighter, I think. You can hear it here on 3 minutes 50. There's a little bit of lack of tightness there with the groove that I think would disturb some people. Yeah, so I think Tyler Allen Johnson's comments are very valid here as well. So let's see here. Alexander, you submitted something as well. So let's listen to Alexander's track here. Let's see here. Oh, we have a lot of spaces in the track here. Lush one. So let's see here. Alexander's track. Let's have a listen. Good start. right, so very cool, Alexander. I really dig this. I think I played one of your tracks earlier, didn't I? Like on a different stream. I'm pretty certain. I think I remember your type of sound. So I really dug it. I see that you wrote here that you're planning to find a good vocalist. I think that would be super because, like somebody says, there's of course these long parts of the track before you get back to kind of the main themes. But if you could bring in a vocalist to keep us interested and keep us, how do you say? Yeah, just not making so. It will create a different kind of transition if you add vocals to it for sure. So that way you're not, the longer breaks doesn't become too long, if that makes any sense. But one thing I noticed was that maybe the woo sound is a little too loud, maybe. Or maybe it's just because I'm listening very closely, but I was kind of startled by it. Also, like somebody says, it's, of course it's sidechained and that's very cool. And I think it's definitely on the right side of the pumping, it's because I'm a kind of person who gets a little bit seasick when there's too much pumping, that feeling it's hard to describe, but it's like physical, like it's a little painful. But I thought this was very nicely sidechained for sure, very nice. But there was something early on that I thought about. Let's see here. Very cool track though. Let's see if I can find it. I'm not sure if I can find it, but there's like a clicky thingy that sounds a little strange. Yeah, there it is. Like around 40 seconds something. 46. That is like this small click tick. It's almost like you haven't cut a sample correctly, so it's like a click sound. Maybe you just want to go. I can't really judge if it's wrong or if it's like a technical mistake or something, but just go back and check it so you're aware if this is something you want or doesn't want on the track. So definitely. Okay, so it's the first time, Alexandra, you submitted. I thought you'd submitted before, but this was really cool. Yeah. There's just this little click sound. So maybe it's part of a sound, or maybe it's a sound that you want there, but I wasn't sure because I was really into it and I heard this, and because of course you're aware when samples, and if somebody doesn't know, when a waveform, when you cut it and it's not at 0, you can get this kind of clicky noise. And I don't think it's that kind of clicky noise, but it was something. So around like 47, 46 seconds. So yeah. All right, guys. But today's live stream is actually coming to an end, guys. So yeah. This was a little Bo Beats review stream, and if you're new here, I do these every other Sunday at the moment. So usually I try to live stream on Sundays because it's a good day. People have time to chill out and come and hang out. And if you enjoy being here and haven't clicked the click the little thumbs up button, please do that. Lebnan, good seeing you as well. Richard Curious here, good seeing everybody here. So yeah. So basically we try and go for 2 hours. If I go longer, the wife will get upset, and I of course will get a little tired. So we have some really nice submissions. I'm not sure if I'll post the video later or what I'll do on the main page, but usually I try to do that. Yeah, and if you guys haven't seen it, we have built a Patreon forum where we hang out. Let's see if I can find it. Did I close it? So it's over on simplysynth.com. And you can join it if you're a patron. You can become a patron for $1 every month, and it's a good way to support the channel. So it's not just to get access to the forum, but the forum is a place where we hang out, and at the moment we have a Patreon giveaway. We're doing a Halloween giveaway. So if you haven't submitted stuff, you should. You answer a couple of questions and you can win a license for Thrill. I think it's so funny. License for Thrill. It's a native instruments plugin for Complete. So that's something that's going on over on the forum at the moment. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, Libnan. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so thank you everybody who submitted work today. If you want to be a part of the next live stream, you should go and check out my BowBeats page over on Facebook. So that's where we also post. So if you're a patron, of course, you can post on the forum, and you can of course post stuff in between the live streams as well if you want some feedback as well. And yeah. And at the moment, I don't accept like files unless you're a patron and you post them to the forum, because you can upload music to the forum as well. And if you want to submit stuff, you submit stuff from over on SoundCloud or YouTube. You can do private links or whatever. I won't share them if they're private. So that's basically it. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out this afternoon. I hope you have had a good time here, and I will live stream. Probably live stream sometime this week, during the week as well. I do, if you guys don't know, if somebody doesn't know, I do coffee streams, Coffee with Bo, with this graphic. And I also do live interviews. So this is a live interview. This is how it looks. And we do the music review stuff as well. And the next, so I had Jacob Hack planned for the next live interview, but guys, I'm actually going to Stockholm, and I had him planned for the day before I go to Stockholm. So what I'll do is I'll try and hit Jacob up and see if I can meet him in Stockholm and do something with him live, or do something, record something. I don't know. We talked about it a bit, definitely. So we'll try and do that. So I think the next live interview will be with Look Mum No Computer, who's also a YouTuber. So yeah, Rico, I'm aware that there's a channel called BowBeats. That's actually why we are sometimes joking about that I eat stuff here on the stream. So yeah, the BowBeats channel. His channel is actually much older than mine, I think, but I think I've surpassed him in both subs and views by this point. But it's funny. It's like a funny meme. So I think I'll do like a stream sometime where I bake a synth cake or something and call it like BowBeats. We should do a collab, yeah. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you have a pleasant Sunday. I hope you don't have too much of a rough work day tomorrow. I'm actually heading off to the university to do a introductory leadership class, I guess, for a new course that I have on my uni. So I'm going to be talking then as well. So guys, have a super Sunday and great evening.